excuse to move out and play our
Der Grund, warum wir hier sind, ist, dass Wimbledon, die haben es hingekriegt, dass die Fans haben diese Verein übernommen. Wimbledon ist ein Verein, die haben die FA Cup gewonnen. Das größte Pokal, was es gibt im Fußball, ist nicht die Fußball-WM, es ist das englische FA Cup. Und dieses Verein hier, die haben es gewonnen. Ja? So. Die Sachen, one second please. Wie die Sachen hier abgelaufen sind mit Wimbledon, das hat die Fans nicht gepasst. Und die Fans wie Ivor hier, die haben dieses Verein übernommen. Und mit Erfolg. Diese Verein, die spielen heute in die 5. Liga von England. Was wie bei uns ist, die fast die 2. Liga von Zuschauern hier. Ja? Okay? Wimbledon sind auf dem 1. Platz in die 5. Liga. Das heißt, dass die werden sehr wahrscheinlich nächste Saison in die 4. Liga von England spielen. Ja? Okay? Yes! Was ich finde für uns als Fortuna-Fans interessant ist, wie haben die damals das geschafft, die Fans dieses alte Verein zu übernehmen? Wir haben das geschafft und mit einem großen Erfolg. Wir haben Stellen und der Olli wird das übersetzen. Das ist besser.
Thank you, Wimbledon!
Hello. Hello. I'd like to welcome everybody. Everybody is very welcome. Especially you. It's too big to say he's not welcome. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. How many of you understand English? Anybody understand English? Yes. Okay.
Most of us.
I will try to speak slowly.
Okay.
Oxford English? Not me. No, I'm a Londoner. So I speak too quickly, and if you don't understand at all, just shout stop. And I'll try and make it so you can understand. And then we've got our translator down here who is going to do a great job for us. If necessary. So please say stop if you don't understand what I'm saying, and I'm really trying. Stop! Stop! Right. Okay, my name is Ivor. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah!
Good. I am the commercial director of AFC Wimbledon. You understand that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. This football club, AFC Wimbledon, was started by the fans, for the fans. Okay? Good singers. We were born out of Wimbledon was formed in 1889. Wimbledon Football Club started in 1889. It gradually rose through the ranks and went up the leagues, all at an amateur level, all the way to 1963, the year I was born, a very good year. And most of you were born since then, I know that, but some of you were before that. In 1963, Wimbledon won the FA Amateur Cup, okay, which was a very big thing, used to be a massive thing. 63,000 people at Wembley to watch 2 amateur teams play each other. That day, we had a centre forward who was the only man to ever score 4 goals with his head at Wembley. 4 goals. Eddie Reynolds was his name. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But the captain from that team in 1963, Roy Law, still comes here to watch his beloved Wimbledon play. So we carried the history with us throughout all the years. We're now, once we won the Amateur Cup, the team then turned professional in the late 1960s. And once it turned professional, it meant we had to play in a league that was then the Southern League, which is basically the equivalent of the conference, which is where AFC Wimbledon are now. We're now in Division 5. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay. So, we turned professional, and then in 1973, sorry, I've told you a lie. 1974, we took on a manager by the name of Alan Batsford, and Alan brought with him some players to the club, and those players mixed with the old players at the club, and we then became a force to be reckoned with. Now, we were then basically in the equivalent of Division 5, okay? So in 1974-75, Wimbledon were top of the league, and we were in the FA Cup as a non-league team now. Now, the equivalent would be, I don't know, did anyone hear about Crawley? You hear about Crawley? They played Manchester United at the weekend, and an honourable loss to them. We don't like Crawley here, they made the money. Wimbledon had no money, but we fought our way up the league. Sorry, it's really distracting with all these guys talking at the back. If someone could please politely ask them if they want to go out. It's easy to go outside and talk. It's just, I can't concentrate, I'm really sorry. Okay, so that year we would have got to the third round of the FA Cup, and in the third round in the Premier League, Wimbledon were non-league. We went to Burnley, and miraculously we won at Burnley. Right. Now, that had not happened. A non-league team had not beaten a First Division team or Premier League team for 65 years when Wimbledon did that. And the truth of it, it's never happened since. So in over 100 years, Wimbledon are the only team that ever went to a First Division ground and won. So that year, we carried on and we won the league, we won the London Cup, and we got to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Sorry, I missed a bit out. When we played the mighty Leeds. You all heard of Leeds? Leeds United? Leeds United at that time were reckoned to be the best team in Europe, and they lost in the final later on that year, did Leeds. We drew 0-0 at Ellen Road, and then we brought them back, and at Sellers Park we couldn't play at our old ground. There were too many people wanted to come. In front of 45,000 people, we lost 1-0 to an own goal. So that was the start of the Wimbledon story. That's when it really got started. We then went on 2 years on the spin, 3 years on the spin. We did really well, won our league, had big FA Cup runs, absolutely fantastic stuff. Eventually, we got elected into the Football League. Now this is where it really starts. I don't know what your knowledge of English football is, but let me throw a couple of teams at you. Let's say, who shall we pick? Bradford City. Let's say Rochdale. You heard of Rochdale? These are quite small clubs. Morecambe, Burton, who else have just gone up? Oh, Stevenage Borough. Stevenage Borough went up from non-league last year into what is now Division 2, but used to be Division 4. So there are only 3 divisions above them now. We went in there, and basically, 11 years later, we found ourselves not only in the Premier League, but we actually went and won the FA Cup, and we beat Liverpool in the final. When Liverpool were meant to be the greatest team in the world, they're conquering everybody. I think they thought they should have won every trophy going, but guess what? We gave them a black eye, and we stopped them from winning a fantastic double. And it's a great achievement for Wimbledon to win the FA Cup. So you've heard of Vinnie Jones? You know Vinnie? Well, Vinnie was playing in that team, and for those of you that have looked in our trophy cabinet there, you'll see that we've got, although we haven't got the medal on display right now, Vinnie gave us his FA Cup winners medal from 1988 last summer to show his support for AFC Wimbledon. The president of our club, his name is Dickie Guy. He is the guy that saved the penalty in the FA Cup in 1974-75, and is now our club president. Roy Law, the captain of the team from 1963, comes down and watches us play. Ian Cook, the captain from 74-75, he comes to our games and is on our board. So, the point being that after Wimbledon won the FA Cup, the horrible thing happened at Hillsborough. I don't know if do you know about the Hillsborough disaster? Liverpool played Nottingham Forest, and unfortunately, I think it was actually 93 people lost their lives when the crowd got crushed due to, there's all sorts of reasons as to why that happened and how it happened, and we won't go into that now, but that changed English football forever. They brought in the rules that have to be all-seater stadiums, and Wimbledon Stadium, we were told, wasn't big enough to house an all-seater stadium. So they moved us then from our old Plough Lane ground to Selhurst Park in Croydon. Horrible part of the world. It's not our favourite. The home of Crystal Palace. Yeah, it's actually 7 miles from where we come from. And first of all, I used to go to every game from when I was like 8 years old, home and away, go everywhere. When we went to Selhurst Park, I would not go to those games, first of all, because that was going to... Who's your biggest enemy? Who's the team you dislike the most? Cologne. Well, imagine if you were asked to go and share a ground with Cologne, how would you feel? That's what it was like. That's what it was like. I don't know. I think I got the message. You know? I can tell you the songs we sing about Crystal Palace, but I'm nowhere near as tuneful as him. So anyway, there we were. So I didn't go first of all, but after a few years, I was persuaded, and gradually the fans reformed back at Selhurst Park, and we started to campaign to try and get a ground back in where we belong. At the same time, the club, whilst we're still in the Premier League, started to plot to take Wimbledon to other places. First of all, they wanted to go to Dublin.
Hey!
Yeah. No, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. That would have been moving our football club 280 miles the wrong way. We weren't very happy about that. So we fought against that. And then came the rumour that they were going to take Wimbledon to a place that I'm sure none of you ever heard of, but it's a place called Milton Keynes. Now, your Cologne, our Milton Keynes, alright? Except our Milton Keynes is worse than your Cologne, believe me.
Nice Milton Keynes! Yeah, nice Milton Keynes!
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I got it, yeah. Yeah, we say a lot worse than that, but anyway. So, they slowly started to talk about taking the club to Milton Keynes. The club got bought out by some Norwegians. Kjell Inge Rocker was one of the guys. I forgot the name of the other one, but they were horrible. We did not like these people. Okay, they were not nice to Wimbledon Football Club. Wimbledon got relegated from the Premier League to the Championship, and when we got relegated to the Championship, they put out a document to say that they were going to relocate Wimbledon FC 80 miles up the road to Milton Keynes. Now, I don't know if any of you understand. I mean, where's a big city 80 miles from? Right. You were going to go to. They're going to move Fortuna Düsseldorf to Gelsenkirchen. Is that correct? Did I say that right? Gelsenkirchen. Dortmund. You're going to move to Dortmund then. So we fought this. We fought this like mad. A big group of us said no, we didn't want to do this. We campaigned. In the end, it went legal, and it went to the FA, and the FA capitulated on May the 28th, 2002. That was the day that they said Wimbledon Football Club can move to Milton Keynes. We then said no, we wouldn't go to Milton Keynes. As much as we love Wimbledon Football Club, we won't go to Milton Keynes. 4 of us got together in my office in a factory in Wimbledon. We got together and we decided that we were going to start a new club. Come hell or high water, we would start again. So we then went on a process over 12 days. We had 12 days to get senior status, to be recognised by the football authorities that we were a real club. Now we had nothing, just 4 people, 4 ordinary people with no money, no ground, no nothing. So we called in the London FA. The London FA came to see us. They told us what we had to do to get senior status, and that was to get a 3-year ground share deal with someone. We weren't even in a league yet, but we had to have a ground before we could get into a league. So we were very fortunate that I phoned up a guy called Mr. Kosler, who owned this ground, and he's a very greedy man, very greedy. Nice man, sort of, but greedy. He already had 4 teams playing here. There was Kingstonians, there was Wimbledon Ladies, there were Chelsea Reserves, and Chelsea Ladies. Were all playing here. So I phoned him up and I said, Mr. Cosler, would you like another team to play at Kings Meadow? And he said, well, how many do you think you're going to bring here? And I said, well, we don't know, but at least 1,000 every game. And he said, yes, we want that, because we want the drinks over the bar. We want the drinks over the bar and the burgers in the tea hut. That's what he wanted. So, we came down here, and one way and another, we managed to sign a deal with him in less than 12 days. To finance that deal, we had to put an appeal out to people to say, we're starting AFC Wimbledon, which was agreed with the FA. To do this, we need some money. Hang on, I'll be right with you.
Why 12 days?
Because the only meeting of the London FA was in 12 days' time. Otherwise, we couldn't have got senior status in time to get into a league to start the next season. Okay? So, there we were. We signed the deal. We got the senior status. But we had to get the money. So we put an appeal out to say, we don't know what league we're going to be in. We think we know where we're going to play. But if you will all pay us £250 each, we'll give you a season ticket when we get started. We need to raise a substantial amount of money. Well, this is the truth. We got £80,000 sent to us in 3 days. £80,000 came in 3 days. We only needed 20 to start with, so we knew then that there was something that was going to happen. And lo and behold, the money kept coming and coming. And not only did the money come, but it was coming from all over the world. From people in Germany, from people in America, people in Japan, from Thailand, from everywhere, all over the world, people wanted to get involved with what we were doing. Once we got the senior status, we had to apply to a league. Long story short, we applied to 2 leagues. One of them said no, the other one said yes. The league that we applied to play in was called the Combined Counties League, which is basically at level 9 of British football. Now that means you've got a fence around the pitch, maybe some floodlights. Right, did you hear that, go on, you?
Yeah, say level 9, say in England would be in Germany would be called say Landesliga, either or say a Bezirksliga.
Okay, so you understand the level that we came in at. We started pre-season. We didn't have a team, no team at all. So we had to do trials on Wimbledon Common. So the word went out for anybody that wanted to play for AFC Wimbledon, come to Wimbledon Common, we'll give you a trial. Well, we had one guy flying from Chile, another one from Finland. I think we had 6 or 7 German people turn up that actually lived in the UK at the time. We stopped counting at 250 people. At 200, we couldn't count anymore, let alone see who was a good player and who wasn't. But one way and another, we filtered it down and we had a team that we could start with. Now, our first game was at Sutton United. Have you heard of Sutton United? Well, Sutton United were the team that we beat in 1963 in the FA Amateur Cup final that I told you about earlier. We beat Sutton United. They're big local rivals, but friends. Friends, not like Cologne, big friends. Okay, so we went there for our first game. At 2 hours before kick-off, the queue was 1 mile down the road. We'd already told the chairman of Sutton that we thought we'd take maybe 1,000, 2,000 people to the game. The queue was 1 mile long. They lost count that day at 4,675 people. They lost count, they couldn't count anymore. They ran out of pies, they ran out of beer, that's bad, running out of beer at football. Even worse than the beer, they ran out of toilet roll. That was bad, very bad. But we played and we lost 4-0 that day. We lost 4-0, our first ever game. There was a pitch invasion. The fans ran on the pitch in celebration. Not of the fact that we lost 4-0, not because they were upset, but because a team called Wimbledon was playing football again. Because we had our own team. Since then, the team started in the league that year. We scored 140 odd goals and came third in our league. But we then embarked on the next season. We started, I can't remember who the first game was against, but our average crowd at level 9 was 3,000. Absolutely insane. All the grounds we went to, their average crowd was 40-50, and we would turn up with 1,500 fans standing around the pitch. We had a lot of fun, let me tell you, great fun. The next season we started, we thought we would win the league the next season, and we did. We went the whole season without getting beaten, scoring in excess of 200 goals. It was mad. We had big parties for about 6 weeks because we won the league 6 weeks early. And we then went into a league called the Ryman League. Ryman won, and we then carried on unbeaten right the way through until I think it was in January or February when we first got beaten. But we hold the British record for the longest ever unbeaten run, 78 matches without being beaten. We went, so that was pretty good stuff. We won that league. We went into Ryman Premier League. And right now things start to get serious. We stayed in Ryman Premier for 3 years. We bought this ground off of the greedy Mr. Kosler.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go.
Because I said it's German now, because most of the friends do not know the league system. Für die Leute, die das Ligasystem in England nicht kennen, das funktioniert so. Früher war das ganz einfach. First Division, Second Division, Third Division, Fourth Division. Finish. Dann kam später die Conference League. Und aus der Conference League musstet ihr eingewählt, könnt ihr mich verstehen? Aus der Conference League musstet ihr gewählt werden für ein Team, was kind of bankrupt war. Also aus der 4. Division rausgeflogen ist, und nur so konntest du aus der 5. Liga aufsteigen. Heute geht es anders. Heute geht es so: Premiership is the first division, Championship is the second division, Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah.
Right? No, yeah. Coca-Cola is Division 1, Division 2, and then comes what is now Blue Square Premier League.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah. Aber das ist jeweils eine Liga über das ganze Land. Das heißt, ein 5-klassiges nationales System, das haben wir in Deutschland nicht. We don't have a nationwide system with 5 leagues.
Okay. We have 3.
All right. Okay, so you've got 3 leagues. We've got hundreds.
You know we have more.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Anyway, so there we were, Ryman Premier, and yes, go on.
How you finance your players?
Okay, I'll tell you that in a minute.
I don't understand.
Sorry?
I don't understand it.
You don't understand him. He asked how we pay for our players.
Yeah.
How we pay, how we finance the team. Okay, the way we finance it is for money that we raise. The fans, we're owned by the fans completely, but we are very clever at ways of raising money. In the Ryman League in particular, in the league that we were just coming to, we needed to make a lot of money to be able to finance a team to get out of the Ryman League. Okay? No, you don't understand? The fans pay for the players. We pay for the players ourselves from our own pockets. Okay? It comes from everybody. We fundraise through everybody. And every penny that we make, so the profit from the beer that you drink today in here will go to fund our team. It will not go into somebody's pocket. It will go to fund our team.
Come on, let's go!
Everything we do. So drink! Drink lots! Yes, we have sponsors. Do you know the game Football Manager? Do you know Football Manager? Yeah. Sports Interactive developed that, and they have been our sponsors from day one. They spend a lot of money with us every year. Wonderful people. So yes, we raise our money by good business. Good business. We run music here. We do music for events, and we just do everything we can. We sell everything that we can. Our merchandise is all run by volunteers. So volunteers come up with just about everything that we do. I'm a volunteer. I don't get paid a penny by the club. Not one penny, but I work 30 to 40 hours a week for this club for nothing. Our chief executive, the big boss, Eric, he works for nothing. That's the way we do it.
I have a question. I basically found Wimbledon now where I thought first it's at the top of the Southern League. You know, Wimbledon always at the top of the Southern League. Yeah. That's where you are now with the 5th division. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But what interests me is when you're at the top of the Southern League, you have the clubhouse at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
On the what is Wimbledon?
Plough Lane.
The clubhouse is on what is it? Wimbledon. Yeah, the pub or clubhouse.
You're in loads of clubhouses, eh? We're big drinkers, Wimbledon fans.
Yeah. How many? When you were at the top of the Southern League, how many members did you have at that period?
The question is about the membership we had the first time we started to come up. We used to get regularly 2,500 to 3,000 fans then. Now we're bigger. We get 3,500 to 4,000. There or thereabouts most games. Yeah, 3,300 to 4,000 is about where we are at the moment. Yeah. I wanted to can I just finish this history bit, just because otherwise it won't be complete, and I want to finish it. Once we got out of Ryman Premier, we went to Conference South. Conference South, we did not expect to win that league that year, but we did. We won that league, and we got into the conference 2 years ago. Now we sit at the top of the conference, and that makes all the difference to this football club. We played, do you know Millwall? Everybody heard of Millwall? Millwall? Well, 2 years ago... 2 years ago, we played Millwall in the first round of the FA Cup, and little old Wimbledon took the most ever away fans that have ever been to the New Den. We took more fans than any other club has ever taken there on a Monday night. And this is the truth, we live to tell the tale. Because Millwall is very unpleasant. They're very, very big, nasty, ugly fans, and scary. Very, you know, you've got a few I can see, but not quite like Millwall, I hope. That brings us up to date, really. We are where we are, top of the conference. You never know, we may get promotion back to League 2 this year. We're certainly going for it, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'll do my best to answer them.
Thanks, Ivor. Thanks a lot. We are more than impressed because, like all clubs, but we used to be German champions in 1933. We used to be European Cup finalists in '79, and we went all the better way back into Division 4. So we know kind of what they're talking about. But the difference is, like, we were kind of being bankrupt, and we were thinking about, and you were the example. And there was a second example, which is called the Manchester Football Club United. That never came forward to us in Germany. But first of all, in short words, I would say to the lads who probably do not have the proper English, I will just in a few words, just tell them about the history, which is not as detailed as here.
Sorry.
Also ganz kurz für die Leute, die die Geschichte nicht ganz so mitbekommen haben von Wimbledon Football Club.
Deutsch bitte.
Ja, da gibt es Deutsch, aber der Club heißt immer Wimbledon Football Club, oder soll man den ersten FC Köln nennen oder was? Das ist ein Club, der früher Blau Lane gespielt hat und irgendwann den Weg in die First Division geschafft hat. Und irgendwann auch wieder runtergegangen ist. Und als irgendwann Leute gekommen sind und haben gesagt, wir kommen hier mit den Platzsituationen nicht mehr klar, aus welchen Gründen auch immer, Milton Keynes Dons. I was saying, sorry for saying this. Und dann haben die Fans haben selber gesagt, wir gründen unseren eigenen Fußballverein. Und die mussten ganz unten starten, von einer Liga, 9th Level. Dann ist bei uns ja irgendwo Bezirksliga, Landesliga. Von ganz unten wieder nach oben, Jahr für Jahr. Und das Problem mit Wimbledon ist die ganze Zeit gewesen, die hatten, nachdem die Blau Lane verloren hatten, die haben Ground Sharing gehabt, with, it was Crystal Palace. Ja. Aber jetzt haben sie endlich wieder eine Heimat gefunden und jetzt spielt, ich habe euch eben das Ligasystem noch mal kurz erzählt, jetzt spielt AFC Wimbledon nach all diesen Jahren von Fans, für Fans gegründet, zumindest mal in der eingleisigen 5., also nationalen Liga. Wir haben keine 5. eingleisige nationale Liga. Und ich glaube, das bisschen, wir waren als Verein ja nur auch ziemlich kaputt. Wir haben andere Systeme erfunden, aber das Beispiel Wimbledon hat uns erstmal eine Menge Respekt abgefordert. Und deswegen sind wir heute auch hier. Und ich sehe den Segen nicht, neben Ivor as we went as say kind of a bigger club as we always felt all the way back into Division 4. We were thinking about we were nearly bankrupt. We were fucked. We're completely fucked at the end of the day. But we managed. Probably not the way he did it. But you could have been the example to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, I have one question. What happens if it comes, and I'm pretty sure, what happens if it comes to the day that you're playing Milton Keynes Dons?
Okay. Well, we drew Milton Keynes Dons in the FA Cup this year. And no, it was not funny, it was bad. What happened was, we had a replay, they had a replay. Our replay was away from home, we won in the last minute of extra time. We won and went through. That set up a possible first round match against Milton Keynes Dons if they could beat Stevenage. Milton Keynes Dons were 1-0 up until the 94th minute of actual time when Stevenage equalised. At that point, I've never been so nervous in my life because we didn't want to play Milton Keynes Dons. We don't want to play them. And there's a good reason for that, and I'll explain it in 1 second. The game went on, Stevenage missed their first penalty, and Milton Keynes Dons had a penalty to go through. They missed that, Stevenage scored, Milton Keynes missed. We played Stevenage in the next round of the FA Cup, thank God. But the reason we don't want to play Milton Keynes is this, it's really simple. The hatred is so bad that the police said to us, first of all, we don't think you can play the game here because you won't get the Milton Keynes coach into the ground. It will be firebombed. Second of all, we would have to restrict the crowd to half the crowd that we normally get, which would cause a riot because everyone wanted to see the game. So we then were hearing from people that things that were going to happen if we were going to play Milton Keynes that would have been just terrible, because the one thing that we've done, that Wimbledon have done, that sets us apart from any other football club in this country, we handled the whole thing with absolute dignity. I don't know if you understand the word, but we behaved ourselves 100%. We never resorted to violence. We demonstrated cleverly and we fought cleverly, and therefore we have the respect of all of football on our side, because we never did the things that you would have expected a lot of football fans to do. No violence, no nothing like that, and that's why we mustn't play Milton Keynes if we can never avoid it.
I say this in English. I would say there is one story. So you're coming back into professional football, and you had a brilliant speech about, say, the history of the club. But see, the one thing I cannot understand is you're coming back into football, you're coming back into professional football, and you should not deny, say, the fucking rivalry, because the rivalry is there. We have it with Cologne, we have it with Mönchengladbach. Arsenal has it with fucking Tottenham, Queens Park.
Fuck Cologne!
Queens Park Rangers have it with Brentford or whatever. So this is natural. This is just fucking natural, and you have to stick it, and you have to live with that.
There's still a major difference. The reason we don't want to play them is they stole our club. They're not just another club. They stole our league place. They stole our club. So they are not. In 2005, I think it was, they actually said, okay, we actually haven't got any history. We are a new club with our league place, and they handed back the history to us. So in our programme, we don't claim, we are the club that won the FA Cup, we are the club that won the amateur club. They are a new club that should not exist. Okay. That shouldn't exist. So how can you play something that doesn't really exist? Very good singing, I like it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, oh sorry, yes, go on sir. No, nowadays it's average, but it used to be. It used to, yeah, when we first started, the first year our players used to drink more than the fans. That's why we didn't win the league that year, but the partake was fantastic. Now they're professional, and whilst we do have some that are local, most of them it's the same as anything else. But we'd love them to be local. It just doesn't work like that.
The player living the history, or is it just a normal club?
The players know our history. Every season we do an induction, so we teach them where this club has come from and what it's about. And just like today, there will be 100 volunteers come here tonight just to run the game. Nobody will take any money for it, run the game, and that's why we can do what we do. The players must know that. They must understand what we are. And we also try to encourage our fans not to turn around and say, we pay your wages, that sort of thing. We try to do it nicely. We're nice, we think. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to open the shop for you. If anyone wants to spend any money, you're welcome.
So Ivor, you have specially opened, I know you're playing Wrexham tonight.
Yes.
And for journalists and their friends, I wish you best of luck first of all.
Thank you.
And we have opened a little bit of, say, the fan store or whatever, and we have brought you a little present for yourself and say for the bar team.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, no, we'll
what I'm talking about.
The only thing what I would ask in MakeCloud now will be, ist hier einer von euch dabei, der das Lied anstimmen kann? Wir alle sind. Okay?
Alter! Alter!
Ja.
Alter, nicht gehen!
Wir alle singen jetzt ein Lied.
Wir alle singen jetzt ein Lied! Wir alle singen jetzt ein Lied! Weil es für uns nichts Besseres gibt! Weil es für uns nichts Besseres gibt! Es ist das Beste auf der Welt! Es ist das Beste auf der Welt! Was uns noch am Leben hält! Was uns noch am Leben hält! Zu unserer Fortuna zu gehen! Zu unserer Fortuna zu gehen! Und hinter unseren Jungs zu stehen! Und hinter unseren Jungs zu stehen! Wir hassen Köln und RB! Wir hassen Köln und RB! Auto! Wir hassen Köln und RB! 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 Fortuna Düsseldorf, ole! Fortuna Düsseldorf, ole! 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 Fortuna! Ole Fortuna! Ole Fortuna! Ole! Ole!
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. I've got no song I can sing back like that, I promise you. Thank you very much. For those of you that want to go to the shop will be open now, which is just up there on the right-hand side. And I think I'm going to show a couple of people around a bit of the ground. If you want to come with me, I'll show you around a bit more. Thank you. Thank you.